Hey everybody, Leslie Sansone Williams here. Hope you're doing well today. Here's a question that is on every person's mind. The worry of, and who's going into the paralegal career, the worry of, will I meet their demands? Will I be able to keep up? Will they even want to hire me? Well, the one question, that's a big question. Will they want to hire you? And will it be based on just experience? I'm here to tell you, no, it won't. They see in your resume that you haven't worked in a law firm before. So get that out of the way. You are not being passed up because you don't have experience. If they are bringing you in for an interview, then you must have done something right already that they were interested in. And now this is step 2, going on the interview. And what will you do to show that you're bringing added value? If you rely just on past work experience, or that you have a incredible work ethic, you're a self-starter, you're detail-oriented, that's what they expect. So that's not a strong answer as to them saying, you've got the job, we're going to hire you. Yeah. You have to go the extra mile. Okay. So this notebook right here, good old Dollar Tree notebook, carry them wherever I go. Answer that question for yourself without putting down, I have a strong work ethic, I'm detail-oriented, blah, blah, blah. Because what if you're saying that, which is they're all positive traits, and they want that, but that's not the thing that's going to make them decide. Everybody that comes in for the interview, or that is new and they're applying for this job, they will think that in their minds as well. What are you going to do to set yourself apart from all the other candidates? You know, it's not based on experience. They know that you don't have any, but they want you to go the extra mile in that interview, and you have to have questions ready. And I don't mean, what's the vacation policy, sick day policy? Those are all things that they'll probably provide you that information, or you might meet with the office manager first and then go see the attorney if there is an office manager. There might not be if it's a small law firm. So leave all that stuff. If they don't explain the benefits, ask those questions at the very end. But the other questions I teach my students in the Paralegal Inner Circle class in the interview module. So let's go over some things that you are bringing to the table. If you've been in the work world long enough, you are bringing wisdom. Yeah, and all those things I mentioned. Detail-oriented, strong work ethic. Are you organized? You could say that one in the interview. Okay, that you're extremely organized. Understand how the workplace changes. It never sits still. It's never stagnant. It ebbs and flows. As one of my business mentors, who is a prolific writer and book writer and all that, he talked about the fact that it was required that he take a computer course years and years ago. And it was in the old computer language of Fortran. Now, people going to school now are probably not studying that, so things have changed, right? The workplace changes. So when I tell you need to be a Word expert, Microsoft Word, take that to heart, okay? And taking some free classes on YouTube is important. So no need to pay for that. Just educate yourself about different software packages, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So stay up with what's happening in this field. If you're looking at a job that's in family law, then you have to go research what a family law paralegal does every day. Okay? and not think that even though the ad may say they're going to provide training, that's rarely true. They expect you to come up to speed faster than is actually humanly possible. So you need to learn as much as you can, and I don't mean from a 2-year degree or a certificate. There are some practical things that they don't teach you in those classes, and if you're going in without the degree or certificate, that's perfectly fine, but you have to educate yourself, and Google is fantastic for that. Understand the power of relationships. It doesn't hurt to join your local paralegal association, whether you are going for a degree, certificate, or not. I didn't have either of those, and I joined my local association, and they had speakers coming in, and that was enjoyable. I'm not going to say it was the most friendly group, but I ended up doing their website for them and their newsletter. So because that's something I knew how to do. But there's a power in those relationships, and a lot of the associations have jobs come in, and on their website they might even have a job bank like we did. So let's talk about personality. Even if you're an introvert, have that pleasing personality, a friendly personality. Look people in the eye on the interview. Okay, when you're called in. If you are not being called in, and you're never getting callbacks when you send your resume and cover letter in, there's a problem. And I'm going to tell you, it's probably your cover letter. And so you need to, if you can, take my cover letter secrets class. And whether you're on YouTube or you're on the Facebook group called Paralegal Coffee Talk, you can scroll through the feed and find that class as well as the Paralegal Inner Circle class. There's links in the description box on YouTube and in the feed on Facebook, okay? And this is just for the future, when you finally land that job and you start to understand what you're doing and a new person comes in, would you pay it forward, please? And have a friendly attitude, a friendly personality. Far too often I've seen the opposite, but I've also met the most fantastic people, my co-workers, who we were helping each other, and that's the way it should be. So lastly, know your gifts and your talents. If you are able to researching on Google for things, and I have found answers for my attorney to questions he had while he was on the phone with a potential client, and found it on Google for him. It was about a past lawsuit. Found it on Google in 30 seconds. So Google is incredible. It's an incredible research tool. And yes, there are other research tools that we use in the legal field, but that's one in my toolbox and in many paralegals' toolboxes, okay? So know what makes you different. Do you like to seek out the answers and you won't rest until you do? Gosh, most attorneys want that. They don't want you to sit there like the birdie in the nest waiting to be fed. They want you to find those answers. You're the go-to person for that as the paralegal in the firm, or one of them. So don't think you're going to be spoon-fed all this knowledge. You have to go after it. And go after it primarily before you start sending your resume and cover letter out. So you bring a wealth of knowledge if you've been in the workforce for very long from other industries, and attorneys will appreciate that. Not everyone will, but most of mine did. When I was living in northern Florida, my husband and I were investing in rental homes and fixing them up, flipping them so we could rent them. And my attorneys, one of my senior partners came to me and had questions about what they just paid for a house, and they felt that they might have overpaid, but it turned out to be a great investment. And we have conversations like that. Have you worked on projects in another industry? You need to talk about that if you have. Sell your skills. That's what that interview is for. But what I teach my students in the Cover Letter Secrets class and the Paralegal Inner Circle class is that you've got to sell those skills before you ever go on those interviews. Yeah, and if you want a higher rate of callbacks, you want the attorneys to call you back, then you've got to be able to show them some things that you know how to do. So don't expect them to understand what your skills are. You have to sell it before you ever go on that interview, okay? And that's in the cover letter and resume. All right, so have a great day. Any questions, comments, post them below on Facebook, or post them in the comments below on YouTube as well. So have a great day, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.